our peace and keeping our laws safe. What they are doing is breaking our laws, and they are attacking our peace activists. And we have to stand up here in Portland, and we have to say absolutely no to the Joint Terrorism Task Force, and we have to understand why it's happening. It is happening because without the racism, without the hate, without the fear against Muslims, we cannot continue our racist wars in Afghanistan and Iraq, and our support for apartheid Israel, and the 30-year support that we gave to dictators in Cairo, and the support of defending secularism. That's why this is happening. We need to fight back against it.
I just want to say that the FBI has been promoting terrorism to engage in a war against us. And they've been setting up people from the peace movement, they've been setting up Muslims, they've been setting up environmentalists. There's a long history of this. In the Earth First movement alone, they set up the Arizona 5 to bust those people by trying to get them to down power lines that they weren't planning to down, and bust the leader, one of the co-founders of Earth First. Then they got a hold of somebody in the Green Scare to bust a lot of people for property crimes and threaten them with sentences that were far beyond what the average arsonist would get. It was politically motivated. They are now persecuting people for thought crimes, for just thinking about or talking about taking down a cell phone, for linking a website to another website in the Earth First movement. They're trying to take us down, essentially. And they're doing it by portraying us as terrorists, even though there's been no threat to life, human or otherwise, with all of these actions. And even though the majority of them have been set up by the FBI, heavily infiltrated by the FBI, pushed by the FBI. So I just want to say there is no war against terrorism. There's a war against us. And if you feel like you're safe from this, you're being fooled. Because
and more choices make for a better democracy. That's the bottom line. Now, let's talk for a moment about why this not rejoining is so critical. This is the reality. Currently, the Portland police have a city attorney who works in this building right here oversee their criminal intelligence unit. That means that the 7 or 8 police officers that are involved with spying on anti-war activists, which I, as an attorney, have had them admit under oath they're doing, when they're doing that, a city attorney at this building right here has to review all of their paperwork and make sure that they're following an Oregon statute. And that Oregon statute is very clear. It says you cannot, for the sole purpose of somebody's religious or political perspective, be spying on that person. It is illegal in the state of Oregon. Now,
even if you deem them a terrorist.
Even if you deem them a terrorist, you must have probable cause that they're attempting to commit a crime. It's not a crime to have whatever belief any of us in this crowd have. That is not a crime, and that is not anything that we should be having a FBI informant watching our emails and watching our phone calls and watching our text messages. Now, what's important about what's going to happen when they make this decision in City Hall? If they vote to rejoin the JTTF, suddenly 2 Portland police officers, at least, will become not accountable to the city attorney's office, not accountable to the Oregon statute. They are going to be working directly for the FBI. Now, the FBI doesn't have this Oregon statute which says you can't spy on people for political beliefs. They don't have that ingrained in their DNA. The FBI, as my dad and everybody else here have outlined, has a history, decade after decade after decade, of spying on people solely because of their political beliefs. So, this is what's critical. There's some sort of compromise they're attempting to have go on in here. There's heavy discussions with the FBI. There was 2 hearings they postponed. A lot's going on. But this is what's critical. Will our Portland police be working on behalf of the citizens, and will we have the power to tell them they can't do that investigation if it's illegal, or will the FBI be controlling the Portland police? That's the central question, and that's the question which we want to make sure they know that we are not going to allow to happen. So, let's get a chant going right now, shall we? No to spying on citizens by the